And welcome to another edition of the Daily Drinkers Podcast. You have the two favorites of us, Mr. Rocky and Mr. Marbles. I am Mr. Rocky. Today we're going with Mr. since it just seems so formal. And we are drinking Topo Chico Shocker. I know. This is the strawberry guava. It's delicious. It would help if it was the right way.
I feel like strawberry is always combined with kiwi, usually. I mean, there's strawberry banana, but
Strawberry lemonade. I'm just throwing you right out the window right now. Just whoosh.
yeah.
But
Anyways,
wait, Guinness Nitro.
no. I have some, but nah. Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
Yeah, 'cause it's that time of the year to drink things that are orange.
Pumpkin spice beer. Here we
Mm,
go.
mm, mm.
All the hipsters
I
are
don't know.
loving it.
I don't know what is Oktoberfest flavor. I mean, I like it. It's good.
It's more fall notes, seasons, a little
Um,
bit of warm in the tummy.
It is compared to regular Sam Adams, but it doesn't it doesn't remind me of like pumpkin spice. If it did, I don't know if I would drink it.
It does have a little bit of spice notes to it, where you can taste it. Earthy flavors.
Yeah, it's a little more earthy for a lager, but it's not like pumpkin spice. It's
That's a good dessert beer. You have that with some vanilla ice cream,
yeah,
maybe some apple pie.
it's a really good like end of day like after a meal beer. Yeah,
Delightful. Enjoy.
maybe a piece of cheesecake or some pie or some ice cream and like a brownie. Mm.
So there's this place over here called Slim Chickens. It's popular across the South. They have cheesecake in a mason jar, and it's little cubes of cheesecake, and then whatever flavor, they have that as an accessory. So if it's chocolate cheesecake, they just get chunks of chocolate. And if it's strawberry shortcake, they do like shortbread, and they do strawberries with little cubes of cheesecake. It's weird. It's pretty
That,
good though.
that is weird. Are they just like chopped up cubes inside of a jar so like you could just grab
Yes.
pieces out? It's not just like a jar that's like
No.
full of
It,
cheesecake and
it's cubes.
you have to like dig it out of the
No,
jar.
no. It's actual cubes, like
Okay.
sugar cubes, like
That makes more sense.
about the
Um
size of the keys on your keyboard, maybe a little bit
okay.
bigger.
Yeah,
It's
kind of
just
like those
different.
donut those cookie dough like bites you get
Yeah,
at like the theaters and stuff.
it's only like $5, $6 for a giant mason jar full of them.
That's cool.
So just picture Baby Yoda full of cubes of cheesecake and shortcake and everything else.
That baby Yoda or this baby Yoda?
Wait, and you also have gifts behind you, I see.
Oh yeah, I have a computer that I have to build this weekend.
Oh,
Do do do
so
do.
you've been busy shopping as well.
Mhm. I made the list, but I didn't have to buy anything. The only thing I'm still trying to get is
Is it for
another.
Omar?
No, it's for Samantha.
Shh, it's our secret.
Mhm. No, no, she's the one who bought it all. She says she wanted a desktop, so I said okay. And she had found the case already that she wanted, and so I'm like okay. So I picked out all the other parts that she would need, and then she bought it. And the only thing we're missing is the cooler, which should get here Friday, and the CPU, which should hopefully get here Friday. And if everything gets here Friday, then we could build it.
Saturdays can be fun.
Well, Saturday I have to go to my mom's, so we're gonna probably build it Friday night. Get pizza and build it.
Sounds like a wild romantic evening.
Mhm.
That's full of swear words. Why did you put it in that way? Yellow
Yeah.
matches yellow, green matches green. How
I mean,
stupid are you?
like building a PC is surprisingly easy. Like once you do it once, or you're with someone who does it, like it's very easy to figure out. Like it's basically the same. It's the same way every time. It's like the same parts, the same configuration, like everything's the same, no matter what case or what board or what. Like it's just done the same. The hard part is um like having fat fingers and like trying to plug in really small things on the edge of the board, and like you just can't get your hand in there. Like that's the difficult part. Like knowing where everything goes. I mean, everything only has basically one location you can put it. So it's once you know, like, oh, this goes here. These parts always go here. Um, Building one like is not really complicated. It takes more work of like determining what parts you want and making sure that they're compatible. Like making sure that this board goes with this CPU socket because AMD and Intel have different sockets. Things like that. Like knowing what graphics card you want to get for. But the way it plugs in is the same. So it's kind of like putting Legos together. They kind of just everything just kind of goes in one way. You can't really
Can't really mess it up.
I mean, you could like break something if you're just like a monster and decide I'm just gonna shove this in there and force it in when it's not
See how
meant
it
to go
fits.
that way. Like that's your biggest problem would be like being too um like rough with certain parts and just breaking them. But yeah, I think one of the more frustrating parts is doing like cable management on the back after you've plugged stuff in, like trying to make it look clean so that way it's not a rat's nest back there. But that's personal preference. So it depends on how much effort you want to go into of like aligning and strapping cables together. So that way they're nice like strips.
Yeah.
You could make it more complicated by like doing custom water cooling. So then you have to like cut and like bend your own tubes and put little collars on and check for leaks and all that, but that's too much work and it looks cool, but I'm not gonna do that. That's a nightmare.
Just sounds ridiculous.
Unless you like doing that.
No, nobody likes doing that.
Um,
Electricians don't like being electricians. They just like the pay of electricians.
yeah. Um, but yeah, the cool water cooling like custom loops that people make, with lights and all kinds of crazy crap. That's cool, but I don't have the patience or the knowledge. I've never done it, so I don't like the idea of like me being responsible for putting water in my computer and not getting it all over the place and then breaking something. Like, oh cool, you just shorted something out because you spilled water all over it. There goes
So
$250.
that's when you practice on an old POS.
Yeah, but yeah, I just don't want to deal with it. So I bought a um like an AIO, which is like an all-in-one. So it's like a pre-made basically water cooler. So the radiator and the tubes and the block that goes on the CPU is like a closed system. There's already water in it, so you just have to screw it in, and then it works.
It does its thing.
It just pumps water around, but um, that's better than doing it custom because then you got to put all the tubes together yourself. This way, it's done for you, and
You don't worry about it.
I don't have to worry about it. The biggest problem would be like if the thing just leaks randomly, then it's like, well, you got to deal with that. But they're not. I mean, you don't touch them. Like once you put them in, you don't really have to manipulate them. So the odds of them just like randomly leaking, I guess It'd be like getting a lemon, in a car. It's just
Like putting in
just
a radiator in a computer. Got it.
it is exactly putting a radiator in a computer. hmm
It's easy. Let's do it.
it serves the same function, but the difference is buying the radiator and the tubes separately and then fitting it together, running the lines under your car, under your engine, and then like sealing it, or buying one that's like pre-put together for you. That's the
No, let's
difference.
do it. No custom. That's
And I'm like,
100%.
I don't want to do a custom loop and deal with getting water everywhere. Plus, if you ever have to like take it apart to like change something, it's a bitch. I don't want to do that. But she did get she wanted an all white system. So the motherboard's white, the case is white, the RAM is white, even the cooler and the hoses and the radiator's white, and the fans are white.
And she got some RGB colors just to
And
change.
there's some RGB in there too.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna have some RGB lights, which is all cool. Um, the only thing it's hard to get right now is a graphics card. So I'm trying to get one. If not, it's gonna have to have my old card in there
Until
until we could get one, because right now it's like impossible to get a card, unfortunately. Scalpers are picking them up whenever they go on sale, and then they're trying to sell them back on eBay for like twice, 2 or 3 times the price.
yeah, no, thank you.
So like $1,100 card is now like $3,000 on eBay.
And they're getting it.
And some people are actually buying it, unfortunately. So then it's like, well, shit. Now that you're buying it, you're just reinforcing them to keep doing it. And then there are places like Best Buy that aren't even selling them online. You have to like, if they're going to have a shipment come in, you have to wait in line outside the store.
Oh, heck no.
And it's like Black Friday just for graphics cards. So like, a coworker was doing the same thing where he's upgrading his computer because his computer's like 8 years old the last time he put it together. So he's trying to get parts and he's able to get everything except the graphics card. And he found out that like Best Buy was gonna have a shipment I think last Friday. And so he drove down there like the night before, like Thursday, and the line was already around the store and people had been camped out there since Tuesday waiting for a drop on Friday.
Jesus.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, no, I'm not waiting. I'm not gonna get one. And the thing is, like, you're gonna go out there and wait, and there's gonna be like 10 cards that you could buy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even gonna be like, a few hundred. It's gonna be like a handful.
It's like how ammo was out here for a while.
hmm And out here, that's why I'm glad I was able to finally get some. Dude, I've had my Glock for a year and I haven't fired it once.
I've had my Walter PPK for a year and I haven't fired it once.
Yeah, so I need to do that.
Shooting range.
hmm
Well, for a while
Um,
I just couldn't get ammo, but now that I can get ammo,
yeah, that was my problem. I had one box of ammo that I got with my gun. So I'm like, well, I don't want to waste one box and then just have none. So I held on to it, and then one of the stores out here had like a sale, so I bought like a bunch of ammo because it was convenient. But now it's just sitting here. I haven't actually gone to the range yet with it. I need to go do that just to make sure the gun works.
hmm
Because I'm just trusting that everything's perfectly fine from the factory. I
I've
mean,
learned one thing: factory you could trust.
yeah.
And
Which
by
reminds me,
trust,
the in terms of factories and dealers, I called to see if I can get service on my car. Also, I think there's a recall for mine for one of something, the missions or something, I don't know. And so I called to see if I could get like a schedule this week or weekend to drop it off so they can do like a full rundown, change the oil for me, fix the recall thing, and whatever else. Um, and uh, nobody answered. So I just left.
Sounds about right.
It said to like leave a message, so I did. But they're probably never gonna call me back, so I'll probably have to call back like tomorrow or Friday, and hope someone answers.
So what I've been seeing is dealerships have been cutting down staff because there's no cars to sell. All the emphasis is getting pushed onto service, and now we have a headache because people can't buy their cars, which means great news for us is everyone's fixing their cars. Last month, year to date, last year we were ahead of the previous year, and this year we passed that mark by another $80,000.
Yeah, and you're not even done with the year yet.
Yeah, that was just the month to date. That was just that month, September of 2020 versus September of 2021. It was about an 80 grand difference. And then if you spot that with the extra 50 grand from 2 years ago, we're up about $130,000 on the month, which is crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean it makes sense. Like, if it's hard to buy a car, then you might as well just spend the money to fix it.
Or you happen to work for the dealership and you see the cars come in, like I did, and I was like, "That's the car I want," and I got it.
Yeah. I uh I had to drive past I had to drive past a dealer this weekend, last weekend, to go to the dentist, and it was the Ford right there off Beach. Was it Ken Grody Ford? I think.
Ken Grody on Beach in the Five.
Yeah, and the place is like being remodeled, right? So like there's a bunch of like tarps up because they're rebuilding one of the buildings or something. But it looked empty.
Mm-hmm.
And they had up there like, oh, open during construction or whatever, or sale during construction. And I'm like, what are they selling? There's like 10 cars on this lot. And they have like a few like Ford Raptors and like maybe a couple other used cars. And I'm like, there's nothing here to sell.
The used car market is bonkers right now.
Um,
As
but
long as you have a decent car with somewhat decent mileage, they're giving top dollar for everything.
yeah, I mean, I wonder what I could get my car for.
You can go to, I would go to TrueCar.com versus Kelly Blue Book. Just get an idea of, you put in your information, they'll give you a rough estimate of your car value.
I mean, I own it, so I don't think I'm going to get rid of it right now because I don't need to have a car payment.
That's the one thing I was dreading is getting back into a car payment. I haven't had a car payment in 4 years.
Yeah, I haven't had one in a year, a little over a year, and it's nice. It's nice when
Mm-hmm.
you don't have one. You're just like, oh yeah, you don't have to worry about it.
I have all
Um,
this extra money now, and I don't know why.
yeah, I get a few $100 every month that I
Mm-hmm.
now don't need to spend on anything. Now, I got my registration that I have to do for it for next month, but it's like I do that once a year, and then because I rarely drive it, I put gas in it once every like 4 months. I put like half a tank of gas or something. And like that's it.
That's ridiculous.
uh,
Um, the car I just flipped, I was doing every 6 weeks. Full tank of gas.
well, I used to do a full tank of gas every once a week. Every like 5 or 6 days, I would do a full tank of gas. So
No, thank you.
now it's like, oh yeah, when was the last time I put gas in? I don't know, like June. And right now it's like, I just filled it up this weekend because I had to drive it. So like I went to the car wash, washed it, and like got filled it up and put gas in it. And I hadn't put gas in it in months because occasionally, every couple months, I might drive to my mom's. So like I'll drive down there and drive back. But I don't really go anywhere. And usually if we go somewhere, we take the other car because it's parked behind mine, so it's easier to get in and out than switching. So yeah, I'm just not spending money on gas. That's why I wanted to get it like checked out because I haven't driven it a lot. It runs fine. I don't notice any difference. But, I should get fluids switched out and
TLC,
yeah, just have it looked
just
over, make sure like
just to
brakes and
prevent
everything are
everything from going bad.
yeah. I think I do need to I do need to get new tires though. And I think one of my tires has a slow leak in it. Um, and
Probably from sitting so long.
yeah, but I think that tire had also been patched at some point. So there might be
Patch
like
could be leaking.
the patch could be leaking or there's like another screw in there. Um, but they're getting kind of smooth, so I should probably just get new tires all around anyways. Instead of fixing a patch. Because I don't like them when they're too bald. So I have to do that, but I'd rather get it looked at all first and then get tires later.
I think this month everyone's having a buy three get one for $1 promo.
Yeah, I just saw a commercial for that, so I got to do that. Um, I don't know where I should go around here though.
Discount tire.
Yeah, I could see where the nearest
Here, I'll tell you.
discount tire is. There's like a few brands, right? There's Discount Tire. There's like American Tire or whatever. There's apparently Discount Tire is American Tire because
Yes, same thing.
okay, well, my year's a 2015 Doge
Doge.
Challenger
Stay away from Firestone. Stay away from
SXT.
Pet Boys. Mission. No. No.
I think they're 20 inch. I think they're 20s. I don't remember. Um,
What was that? There's a tire place by your mom's house.
yeah, I think that's America's Tire, right by the Home Depot.
Salinas. Salinas Tire.
Oh, there's that one too. That's on the other side. I always went to the like America's Tire that was by the Home Depot in La Mirada.
Yeah, Salinas Tire was legit. Always took care of me.
Um,
Right there on Whittier Boulevard in Euclid. Right down the street from your old house.
right down the street. Yeah, that was right down the street from my old house. Never went there though. Never had to. um, yeah, everyone's doing discounts and stuff. Hmm, do they have a? No, I don't want to go to the Fullerton one. Is that the closest? Yeah, I gotta figure out to get that done. Spend money on that. I don't know. How's Destiny?
Same. Rinse, repeat, grind. Rinse, repeat, grind.
Yeah, nah, I
Except
figure.
at least now they made it easier to figure out your armor rules. So you figure out your play style and then how you want your armor rules to be. Most everyone plays recovery for PvP and then mobility and whatever. But they've also made some of the drops easier for you to get higher level gear. So essentially, you just need one set of gear for PvP, one set of gear for PvE, and you're good to go. Your stats pretty much cap out on everything. You have a pretty even roll across the board, and then you just come down to weapons and playstyle, and then we did
Yeah.
some raids last week. That was interesting.
I the thing is though, I feel like when you narrow it down too much, it kind of takes some of the fun out of it. At least for me.
Yeah.
Like I like playing with different stuff just for the heck of it because, this gun's fun or whatever, or this armor looks cool. I don't I don't like being like, well, I have to play with only this set because this will give me the optimum outcome in, 68% of firefights. Like
Yeah,
like
it,
I
it
just
gets
want
a
to have
little
fun.
rough.
I want
Well,
to
our
have
raid
fun.
was fun because I hadn't raided since the last vault back in Destiny 1. So I was like, oh, it's like training wheels. And they're like, do you remember how to do this? And I was like, okay. And I picked the easier route because I knew the easier stuff just to get the hang of it. And then our team, we were already short manning the raid. And then one of our guys didn't do it. So we had a 4-man the first part of it. And then I ended up with Dink on the top center. And I was like, oh, I remember this. Once I got into the groove, I was like, okay, this is cakewalk.
Yeah.
Next challenge, cakewalk. Next challenge, cakewalk. And then they had the relic after you fight the gatekeeper at the first encounter. And they were like, well, who wants to run it? And I was like, well, it makes most sense if I run it. 'Cause I'm the lowest level. You guys do more DPS.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, this is the most complicated part. So I haven't run it in a while. Give me a few runs. First run got demolished. Second run got demolished. Third run got demolished. Fourth run, I was like, wait a minute. I remember how to do this now. And then I was like, all right, I'll give it a couple more runs. And if we can't get it, I'll let somebody else do it. And I'll just do DPS. And then I switched my gear over once I remembered what I needed to do. Boom, not a problem. Let's go to the next encounter. Boom, not a problem. Let's get to the boss fight. Boom, not a problem.
Yeah. I've only done. I didn't even do all the raids in Destiny 1. I only did, uh, what was it, Vault of Glass? Was it Crota? And we started the. Oh no,
Oryx.
um, that was the one after, right?
So it started with Vault of Glass, then you went to the Son of Crota, where you started out jumping off the moon into a giant pit and you had to outrun all the
Did that one?
thrall.
Yeah.
Then they had Oryx on the ship,
I didn't do that one.
and then he had the twin sisters that were. It was a. I think you might have done it because you have to get to the sisters, and in the sisters there was a light that you got to grab, and you have to jump on an invisible plate all the way up. Then you team shoot one sister, then somebody else gets picked, and you team shoot the second sister. But if you cheesed it, you had to kill them both in one run to get to Oryx. And then you get to Oryx, and that was just a fiasco and a half.
I don't remember that. I don't think I did. I don't think we did it. Or we tried it once and then,
And you were like, nope.
well, we failed it and then no one wanted to do it again because everyone had done it 6 times already. And I hadn't done it yet, and so they went to run it and then decided, nah, we don't feel like doing it.
Well, if we can get you to light level, then we can carry you through because
there
we could 5-man it, no
there was
problem.
there was that one and then there was the one by the one where the guy's locked up. Uh the fallen guy. He's locked in that like cell thing. Was that a raid or was that just one of the like really hard strikes or whatever? No, I think it was. I don't think it was a raid. Was it Wrath of the Machine or whatever? The weird spider one.
That was Wrath of the Machine.
That one though, we never finished it. We did it multiple times, but we kept failing. So that one I never actually finished. But I think everyone else did. And I think that was the last raid I did. So
Scourge of the Past was a pain.
I only did like 3 of the raids and only completed like 2 of them. of both games. I don't think I did any raids in Destiny 2.
I haven't. I'm just looking at the Destiny 2 raids and Jesus. Let's see. Destiny raid. I did Leviathan. I did Leviathan Eater of Worlds, Leviathan Spire of Stars. Last Wish doesn't look familiar at all.
I never did King's Fall.
King's Fall was fun.
Yeah, I did Vault of Glass, I did Crota's End, didn't do King's Fall, and never finished Wrath of the Machines. And then I didn't do any of the I didn't do any Destiny 2 raids.
Should we just gotta get you to level
So
and we can run you through them?
I just don't like, yeah, physically I know how to play, but I don't know what any of the I don't know what any of the new stuff like means.
Okay, so the original Destiny, Vault of Glass was easy, Crota's was easy, King's Fall was a B and a half. Wrath of the Machines, I only did like 2 or 3 times.
Dude, I don't
And
even think I
then
finished the game of Destiny 2. I don't think I did. They've added stuff since I stopped
they've
playing.
added so much stuff. It's a little silly, all the stuff that they've added, but I've done the first 3. I don't know about the 4. I did 5. Garden of Salvation, I just did boss runs, and Crown of Sorrows, I just did boss runs.
Well, see, you're also the only one that has the patience to go rerun all this stuff. Um, Anytime you play with Dink or Ryan, it's more of like they just get bored of it because they did it and they want to just do like,
It's competitive run, competitive
yeah,
run.
yeah. And then so I end up spending all my time doing that, and then I'm like, well, cool. I have no idea what we're doing. We're doing one thing over and over again because that's what they want to do, and then I don't play for like a week, and then I go back and I have no idea what I'm doing, and we're doing
You
like
should get
PvP again. So I'm just like, okay, guess we're playing this tonight. So I don't know. That's why I haven't been interested in picking it back up because I'm like, I just don't. I'm not going to devote the time that they have into it.
no.
So I'm always going to be behind, and I can't really play by myself because then I have to relearn it all over again. Um, so yeah, that's why I haven't done it. That's why I've been busy playing No Man's Sky and just warping to places and doing side missions and stuff.
Like, hey,
I gotta play more Aliens though. I only finished the first mission,
really now?
but I don't
You
know,
want to play
man.
the first mission?
What?
You want to play the first missions?
For Alien, was Alien Extinction? Yeah, I gotta go back and play that. Um, yeah, I don't know.
I'm just gonna look up some quick stats real quick on Destiny just to compare.
Can you? Yeah, can you look at other people's stats?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how. Compare with friends. None of you.
I
Okay, here we go.
mine's
Okay, so out of my friends list, time played in game. Marbles has played 2 days, 14 hours. Method has played 7 days, 9 hours. Rob has played 30 days, 1 hour. I have played 33 days, 12 hours. Munzie has played 46 days, 23 hours. Dink is sitting at 90 days. Oh, one of the kids in our guild, 106 days. Ryan with 109 days. He's played 3 times as much Destiny as I have.
that's why I don't want to play with them. Uh,
That is
how many days?
ridiculous.
How many?
109 days. He's beat you by 107 days.
Wait a second. 109 divided by 24, right? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, divided by 24 hours. 4.54 month. Is that right?
No. 20. Hang on. There's 24 hours in a day. So if he's played
Oh,
109
it's
days,
109 times 24. Sorry.
yes.
Yeah, I'm like,
You're going backwards. And I was like,
I'm going
huh?
backwards. I'm like 2,616 days
Not hours.
or hours. 2,000 hours. 20
That's about right. Because
2,600 hours.
he was at like 1,800 hours on Destiny 1. And that's just one account. Let's see what his other account's at. Fuck. Yeah. La 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 la. His second account has more time played than you. But his second account's at level, so I mean they made leveling up so much easier. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm a day one player, but still.
me too. But again, I've played what 24
Played
hours
48
or
hours.
48
48.
hours. I played 48 hours of Destiny 2. That was the last time I played was I don't know however many months ago. So it's like if I start now, cool. Now I have to relearn the game again
There's really nothing to learn though.
and take all the fun out of it because we're gonna be like doing loops.
Well, all you need to do is get your light level to power. Which how far off are you?
Dude, they probably reset
Oh,
they
oh dear lord.
they've reset it probably 3 times or whatever since the last time I played. So it doesn't even equal like what it should be.
I'm pretty sure we got Method caught up in like 3 nights. This Method's not that far away. You're at a 965 level cap this season, 1330.
Yeah, and that's probably the highest character I have,
Yeah,
not the other two.
that's crazy. That's some shenanigans right there, bro.
Hmm.
Who?
Ugh, I sneeze.
Gesundheit.
Destiny
But yeah,
tracker.
we can get you caught back up and then
Hold
run you
on.
through the raid. Oh, they have a shortcut for one of the other raids.
Um,
Unable to connect to EA servers. Why is there an open beta if I can't connect?
it's precisely why.
This is why I stopped playing EA games because you couldn't ever get into them.
Oh, this is all PvP stuff.
It's going to be mostly PvP trackers.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any room on my hard drive for that.
That's where I'm at right now. Trying to sort out what games I actually want to keep, which ones I don't. I got Battlefield coming in, and then Halo coming in.
You got something that you should get in the mail tomorrow that might help with that.
Really?
Yeah, because I bought myself the same thing. But seeing as you're the only one that's on this podcast regularly, you know,
Surprise mail. I like it.
other people could have gotten that if they were, around. Or, didn't bash my play habits. Um,
So then I can transfer Outriders over there. I can transfer No Man's Sky to that. Probably Rocket League to that.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna do is transfer all my Series X stuff over there first, and then because that's supposed to be just as fast as the internal hard drive.
Because right now I already have my other basics on my old 3 terabit hard drive.
Yeah, that's what I have too. Well, mine's a 2 terabyte, but yeah, I
And
put
I
all
didn't
the
even
basic
come
stuff on there.
close. I could add a lot more stuff on there, but I was just tired of turning on my Xbox. I'm like, this game is uploading. This game is updating. This game is updating.
Yeah,
But every now and then I do get the craving to play Ark. I just don't want to download the 150 gigs. And then I get on and I play it for 20 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
yeah. Yeah, no, I got it because I mean I still have like Call of Duty Warzone. Um,
Why?
I was playing with that with Samantha every once in a while. She wants to play um, the Black Ops Warzone or whatever. So I still
Mm.
have that. I uninstalled the campaign though, which saved some space, but I still have the multiplayer, which takes up the biggest chunk. No Man's, Rocket, Pub. I got quite a few games on the external drive because they're like single player stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
But for this Series X games, I only have like 50 gigs left or something of the internal. So I thought with Halo coming and with Battlefield, like I'm gonna need like
That's it right
I'm gonna
there.
need like 300 more gigs of space probably. So I should just get that and then dump all like Rocket and all the other stuff on there. Um,
That's a good idea too.
and keep like the 2 3 games that I play regularly on the internal one and just keep all the other ones out on the external one. And then any like older games that aren't optimized, put them on the external drive.
Yeah, I've already switched that. So I've got all my non-advanced ones on the external, but the internal is just like, all right,
Well, yours is also smaller. It's what 500 gigs. I
yeah.
think mine's a terabyte standard. So I'm adding an extra terabyte. You're gonna have an extra terabyte. Um, because I have the default download space to be my internal, and then I move things off of there. But um, yeah, I figured I got it for Sam because she has a bunch of stuff. She's downloads a million games,
I'm gonna
and
try this, and then it
yeah,
never does anything.
yeah. So there's like a boatload, and then sometimes it won't even update because like it's out of space, so the update can't even go through. So I got that. I'm like, here, there's another terabyte to put stuff on. um, and so I'm thinking of the games that are coming out, like they're gonna be huge. Um, so I might as well get that now, so I don't have to like ration space for a while. Um,
So I was thinking like Subnautica. You played that game, right?
yeah,
I saw the Below Zero pop up on EA Pass, and I was like, maybe.
that's the like the sequel, I guess, to it.
Yeah.
I haven't played Below Zero yet.
And
Um,
then the Avengers game came out, and I was kind of debating on that, and I saw it's 160 gigs, and I was like, yeah, maybe not.
yeah. So there's some stuff that comes out. I'm like, oh, it looks like it'd be fun to play, but then if one, I might be able to download it, but nobody else is going to be able to. Well, you're not going to be able to, and then Ding and Ryan are going to say no, and then Method will say no because he's like, I play once a week, and I'm just going to play Rocket and Pub. He plays like 2 games.
Hmm.
So, uh, I'm like, nobody else will play.
I almost
Um,
downloaded Skatebird the other day. It's a parakeet on a tech deck, little fingerboard, and he just
Oh.
rides around little like rooms, and he turns it into a skating rink. It looks ridiculous. So of course I was like, hell yeah.
Um,
And then I saw I Am Fish, where you are a fish, like Finding Nemo, and you have to find your way to the ocean.
yeah, I think I've heard of that game. It's similar to is it the same um is it the same developer that does the um yeah, they do Surgeon Simulator. They do I Am Bread. I Am Bread, I have that on Steam and it's weird. You're bread and you have to become toast.
So you find every which way you can to light yourself on fire and cook yourself.
Pretty much, but you like it'll start you in different maps. So like the first one, it's like you're in a kitchen, and the best way is like get to a toaster. But you control each corner of the slice of bread,
Jesus.
and so you have to like flop around, climb things by like sticking the corners to stuff, and you have to control all four corners. So it gets really weird, and you have to like try to become toast. And there's one where you're like in a living room and there's like different ways you can become toast. So like you can either go the route of like climbing up where the ironing board is and like knocking the iron over onto you to burn yourself, or you can like get inside the VCR, I think, and like turn yourself into toast that way. And like so it's just weird and you have to be creative. That game also, I saw a let's play of it, and you can play with another person, and each person controls like half the bread, like two corners or something, and like you have to try to become toast with another
Teamwork.
person. Yeah. So I'm like, that's weird. Um,
The origami looked kind of cool, like Shadow Ninjas.
okay.
It was like Splinter Cell, but for Japan. It was weird. And then, did you look out Lemon's Gate? It's a first-person shooter that's a turn-based game. You have 25 seconds to go capture an objective. There's 6 rounds. Only thing is the 2v2. Your next wave, whatever you do interacts with your previous wave, so on and so forth.
Okay.
It's up to you and your team to fight off the enemy team. And so, say me and you are going against each other. I capture the objective on turn 1. Turn 2, you come and you kill me. Turn 3, I can go back and kill you. So my first turn can capture the objective.
Okay.
Turn 4, you can come kill both my guys, and your one guy can get viewed. So
Yeah.
it's like a 4D game. It's the craziest concept, but I don't think I'm strong enough minded to try to get
Yeah,
that figured out.
that sounds like it gets complicated after a while.
It sounds really fun
And you
and
have to
sounds really interesting.
there's a lot of strategy there. Like um you have to you have to like think
If
ahead and try to plan like how you're going to counter their counter.
and you have to make sure you do your counter with less than enough time for them to figure something out.
Yeah. So, yeah, that'll take a lot more effort. I know certain people would get very frustrated by that.
Mm-hmm. I got frustrated watching the trailer, but I was like, I'm so intrigued.
Um
When did they come out with Dead Space?
oh dude, probably not like for a year or two. I think they just started that the remake. Um you know what they did, which was really cool, that I didn't learn about until they announced it. They had gotten they made like this committee of people who were like big fans of the game, and they helped them like redesign the reboot.
That's cool.
So like they got input from people who are like big
Played the
fans
game,
and played it a
enjoyed the
lot,
game.
and basically like got ideas from them and like got feedback from them on ideas that they had on what they wanted to do and what like mechanics people liked and like what because apparently they're adding in because the first game had 0G, but you couldn't float, like you just had magnetic boots and you walked around in certain levels.
Yeah.
But they liked the 0G from like 2 and 3 where you can actually like fly around, so they're adding that to the first game. And then I think they're like changing the story a little bit to make more references to what happens in the sequels. Because I don't know if it
Instead
was,
of just like out of left field, like, oh,
yeah.
okay.
So they said that they're gonna try to change the story around a little so it connects more with like the broader like world and story and stuff. Um, they've what else? They brought in the voice actor from 2 and 3 because the first game, the guy Isaac Clarke doesn't talk. He does like he makes like a couple grunting noises, but that's it. Like when he gets hit or whatever, or when he stomps on something,
Hmm.
but he never actually spoke. And so I didn't realize that because I had skipped the first game. So when I went back and replayed it, I realized I'm like, oh, he doesn't talk. He's just quiet and everyone talks at him and like tells him what to do, and then he just like walks away and leaves and goes and does it. Like he never actually says anything. And I guess they brought and in 2 he talks, like there's dialogue, in 3 there's definitely dialogue. So the voice actor from those they brought in, and they said that they don't want him, like he's not there to talk a lot, but in situations where like you expect a conversation, he actually talks like back now. He like says
That's cool.
stuff. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. They actually like made him a little bit more like the sequels instead of just the silent protagonist. Um, but yeah,
What
I
did
saw. Go
they think
ahead.
about their crafting?
They didn't say anything about how the crafting's gonna be. They did say that there's gonna be no microtransactions. They're not selling like because 3 had it really bad where you could
Mm-hmm.
like buy everything with real money. And the second game was good because there was crafting, but it was all based off like resources you found
In
um,
game.
in game, and it wasn't crafting like you built weapons, but you could buy you could buy weapons and ammo and all that stuff by stuff you found in game, and like upgrade your suit by stuff you found in game versus 3 where everything was like
Real
DLC.
money.
So they said they're not doing that. They said it's all gonna be like in-game stuff. And then I saw an example of um, the new like dismemberment mechanics that they're working on.
Oh, Jesus.
So like they say like depending on the weapon you're using and like where you shoot the what are they called? Um, I forgot what those things are called now. But like if you shoot one in the leg, like depending on the weapon, you might sever their leg, or you might just blow like flesh off their leg, but like not actually sever it, and like the creatures like react to what you blow off. So like if they lose a leg, like they'll fall over, but they'll still like try to get to you better, and if you if you keep like taking bits off of them, they'll still keep coming. Um, Whereas I think in the first game, like if you severed their limbs, that just kind of instantly killed them, but now I guess it doesn't. Um,
Really?
so I think they're probably gonna be maybe tougher because they have more dismemberment, so it might be actually it might take you longer to kill one. But they actually showed that off, like they showed a test, like a test area where they had those necromorphs, and they were shooting at them. And like, look how the flesh just peels off when you shoot them and don't hit them all the way. Look how you just blow a hole through their chest, but they're still alive. So, I don't know that. I mean, I'm hearing that, every time they talk about doing like a reboot or a remake, everyone always says, "Oh, they're just setting up for like a sequel." And they're just testing the waters for like if people want to see the IP come back and they'll make a sequel. So
Well, if the
hopefully,
game's good, of course we
yeah, if
want
the
to see it
game's
back.
good, I want to see another sequel. Dead Space was cool. Um,
I'm tired of the sequels that we have now, like Madden and Call of Duty, and
yeah, where they're not, I don't know, they're not as like in depth in terms of story and lore. I'm actually excited for the Dead Space reboot and the Knights of the Old Republic reboot. So, because those games, the Knights games, are like probably two of my favorite. Um, but they're really dated. So back then it was like turn-based combat, so it was like real
yeah,
slow and um, but the story was really cool. Like the story was really well put together. The characters were really well put together. So if they're gonna remake that and make it more modern and modern third person adventure combat, that'd be really cool. Um, so I don't know. There's some cool stuff coming out. I would have liked to have Britt on here to talk about the Halo flights because I haven't played them yet.
been trying to work on her, but she's in her own little world right now.
Um,
But I have her doing a side project for me.
I just want to know what to expect when that comes out. Are we gonna play that?
Halo,
Yeah,
yeah,
because I'm expecting to. But
100% for the nostalgia factor. But I think it's all going to pan out and how it comes out. The season passes, I think, are interesting because they're going to be always there.
yeah, I just don't want it to come out and then I get online and everyone's playing Destiny 2.
Which is probably
And then I have to go play PvP by myself.
well, like that's what's weird right now is we're in that weird little in between game. So until Battlefield drops, which should be what the end of this month.
uh, is it the end of this month or is it like November? What game comes out like November 12th?
I thought that was Call of Duty. Call of Duty usually drops, and then Halo should drop right around Thanksgiving.
No, Battlefield's November 19th.
Okay.
I think November 5th is Call of Duty. Halo is December 8th. I think Battlefield, I think they pushed it back so it came out after Call of Duty. I think
Because
they
Call
did.
of Duty's gonna, they
I
always came out in tandem, and each group had their own separate space.
Yeah, but they would also like cannibalize each other, whoever came out
Hmm.
second. So like everyone would jump on the first game and then the next game whichever one would come out right after and then everyone would switch. So I think that's why they pushed it to be second to let people play Call of Duty and then oh Battlefield's out, let me play that. Um but yeah, no, I'm excited to play that. I miss flying helicopters. Those are always fun.
I couldn't fly a helicopter. I could snipe with a tank like nobody's business. Could not do anything in a helicopter
I was good. I'm good in a
or
helicopter,
airplane.
surprisingly.
Anything
Airplanes,
flying? No.
airplanes, not as much. Um, I don't,
Boats?
I don't
Yes.
know if it's a combination of just like the sensitivity or controls, but in airplanes, I could fly them fine. I just can't escape when I got someone behind me. Like I feel like the plane doesn't turn fast enough, so they just follow me easily.
Mhm.
Helicopters, though, um, that like I could whip those things around. Like that I find fun. Um, so hopefully the helicopter mechanics are good.
I could
But
do any of the land vehicles. I could do any of the water vehicles. Can't do helicopters. Can't do airplanes.
I could do helicopters and tanks. Those are the best, what I'm best at. All the other land vehicles, I will crash into a lot of stuff. Or I just never found much use for them. Tanks, though, I can snipe with it. I remember in Battlefield 4, you could put I would put the Sabo round for the main gun because that was great against tanks. And then for the secondary fire, I would put it was called like a canister shot, and it was basically a shotgun, but like a tank-sized shotgun. So I would, instead of using like the coax or the machine gun, I would use that thing, and it's like point blank. But when you're sniping at tanks with the Sabo, and then someone tries to run up and throw C4, you swing that around and you fire, and it's just a shotgun, and it's just one hit kill on infantry, and I'm like, that's all I need it for is just tank defense. I'm not going to use it for anything else. So I would just get tons and tons of kills just sniping with the tank, and then when people finally figure out where I'm at, I would switch to the canister shot and just shotgun blast.
Shotgun.
Um, and it even worked against vehicles. Sometimes someone in a helicopter would come in low to try to like fire missiles at me, and I hit him with a shotgun blast.
And they're confused because they don't know why anyone would have a shotgun in the
Yeah.
tank.
I remember the reticle for it too was like massive. That was always fun, and I kind of missed that in like the newer battlefields. They didn't have anything like that, so got stuck having to use machine guns. But I don't know. There's supposed to be more players in this one. It's what, like 120 or something, or is it still? Yeah, isn't it higher now than it used to be 64? But I think they like doubled it or something.
128. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Mhm.
It's gonna be so much fun.
I like the big battles though. Like I like it when there's. I know like Dink and Ryan don't like vehicles, but I actually kind of sometimes like having like just a bunch of stuff on the map. Um, because sometimes it feels
It
like
changes the game up.
it changes the game up, and you're not like always in a close quarter fight with somebody. Like you can actually use the sniper rifle, or you can actually like um like travel around the map and do other things besides just like getting in a firefight every time you respawn. Oh, did you see the new portal thing that they're doing?
No.
So you can like make game types and mix and match stuff from from Battlefield 1942, Bad Company 2, and Battlefield 3. So you can have like
What?
yeah, you can have like World War II planes, but have like robots on it, like on the battlefield, and like you could like mix and match stuff. You
All
didn't know
right.
about that?
No.
Yeah, you can. Hold on.
Bad Company was one of my favorites. That whole series.
Yeah, you could like build. You can create. Yeah, you basically like create games with maps, weapons. You could pick like what stuff on the map there is. So you could be running around World War II weapons, but have like tanks and helicopters. um, yeah, it's like a sandbox, but you have all the different like maps and equipment and vehicles from all those different games that you can mix and match with.
So now their servers are gonna be even more laggy.
Mm-hmm. So, traverse the battlefield with iconic vehicles like the Spitfire, Tiger One, Quad Bike, VDV Buggy, Little Bird.
The Little
uh,
Bird was awesome.
yeah, you can like use different weapons like an M60 and an M1 Garand.
100% probably the loadout I'd be running around with. Let me go long range and then just spray a bunch of bullets.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I didn't play
Oh,
1942. Didn't you play it?
I, I couldn't even tell you what I've played and what I haven't.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. We gotta wait another month, but
Shoot, the other day we were playing pub. We went on a tear. Of course, I was the first person dead, but that game I had to sacrifice myself for the good of the team. Dink went 3 for 4, 3 kills, 4 assists. I got 3 kills, 9 assists.
jeez.
Method had 7 kills, 3 assists. Ryan had 9 kills, 3 assists. we went on a tear right out of the gate. I had a UMP and we were cruising over by farm. I was just leaning out the car, shooting everyone, just getting downs left and right. Dink would get caught up in a firefight, so we turn around. It was just mayhem every time we turned around.
That
We
rarely
should have
happens.
died 5 or 6 times where we would get into a fight and another group would show up, so there'd be a three-way fight and we would just luck out.
Yeah, those are lucky. But I feel like every time we get into those when I'm playing, every both teams shoot at us.
Yeah.
Instead of them shooting at each other and us cleaning up the mess, it's like everyone's shooting at Dink.
It
and we're
was
and we're trying to provide cover and we just get like cross shot.
it was a wild game. It was probably one of the funnest games. If I could have recorded the whole 35 minutes, it would have been one for the books.
I think it was last night. Was it last night or the night before? I got on for a little bit and I saw that you four were playing, but everyone said watching and Method said playing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, so it's one of those nights.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's dead. Method just somehow
Watching
is the
one
only guy
person.
alive. Everyone's watching. So I'm like, okay, no, I know how that night's going.
We had a couple of those games last night where we were all under fire, and so I just YOLO'd it. Went. I figured out of the three of them, if I go fight these two people, we'll get some crossfire. So it was me versus two people, while the three of them healed in the corner, and I was like, "Thanks, guys."
Hmm.
But I ended up downing one, and after they got healed and I died, I baited the guy back to them. Then he died, and then we ended up winning the game. But it was a fiasco.
Yeah, that happens.
Speaking of fiascos, we should I'll
And this
try to get a
fiasco.
little I will get a theme together for our next one. That way everyone has no excuses.
uh,
And we can end this fiasco, go play some miniature golf to end the night on a nice high note, and then talk and see who we can get as some guest appearances next week.
yeah. Hopefully we get more permanent members to also appear. Uh,
There's only two permanent members, sir. You can hold out hope for a third, but let's be serious.
yeah, you're right. All right.
Ladies
Well,
and gentlemen, it's been fun. We will get a little bit more back on track. Try to have some themes going so we can all be excited.
mhm.
Until next time.
So long, everybody.